All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tink Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we're gonna check out Moana 2. We're gonna get into our full review with spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, hit pause and go check it out. Come back and join us with the conversation and the review. We're gonna get into our likes, our dislikes, our ratings at the end, whether we recommend it or not, with our now, later, never. But before we do that, I just want to give a shout out to everybody watching us right now. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all you guys coming in and checking out us on our reviews. It means a lot to us. So thank you so much. And if you want to be part of the review, hit that subscribe button and you can be part of the live chat when we do every Monday and Thursday. So, with that being said, Brian, you got a breakdown of what Moana 2 is about.
So the synopsis is one sentence, so I'm going to read that real quick. Moana journeys to the far seas of Oceania after receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll get into our likes first. Start off with Brandon. What you like about Moana 2?
I liked. I thought the plot. I kind of like where they went with the plot. If we absolutely needed a sequel, I think it worked for me rather than just kind of being a retread of the first movie. It made sense where they went with Moana and Maui. I really had a lot of fun. I had to go see it in 3D. Like a lot of the CG animated movies, I typically like to see in 3D, and this one was no different. Those were mainly my two things with it.
Okay, all right. What about you, Brian? What you like about it?
Oh, I thought the story was great. I thought that the character development, the development of who she was. Obviously, she's older now. She's become chief. Seeing her learn how to lead, seeing her figure out her place in the world, and seeing how her people look to her and just listen to her. I thought that was just so awesome. Even having her father and mother still there to help guide her. That connection, even with her sister, was awesome. That family dynamic was strong, but that family didn't hold her from doing what she needed to do as chief. So she still was able to, be who she needs to be and lead her people. And I thought that was great too, because they just kept it so good. I just enjoyed their journeys, and then creating her own crew, building that relationship with them, and then the fact the story is an old story. Like, this is a story that wasn't made up. I enjoyed every place that they went. I thought it was just really, really well done. And the music wasn't as great, but it was still good. Like it was still fine. But and then the ending, when they finally connected all the islands. Spoiler alert: they do connect all the island people. And seeing the different type of people, I thought that was really important to understand and bring us together. Though you're separated by this thing, there's also this one thing that connects you. So it's not always being about being negative. It's not always about saying I'm better or this is better or the way we do is better. It's nice to see something saying we have connective tissue and let's focus on that. And then they came there, right? And then she went to the other places and respected them. And that was a huge part too. So, I mean, I just thought that overall, the family aspect, her development, and what it meant to the people just was great. It was really well done.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I thought the story was pretty solid. I enjoyed the adventure that they went on. I enjoyed Moana becoming more of a independent, strong character rather than like this helpless kind of kid. And they even bring that up in the movie a few times. He's like, of like, oh, she can save you. I don't want her to save me. Stuff like that. So it's like, and there's reasons, why. But she is seen as a hero, a person that can do the job. Where in the first one, obviously, like, you can't do this. I want to keep you safe, blah blah blah. Now it's like she's become her own person. Her own, like you said, the
She's the
leader of
leader.
the tribe. Like she's become a badass, really. Like she's become very fearless and awesome. And I enjoyed a lot of that. But Maui, I thought had a interesting story. He didn't play as big as a role as the first one, but I enjoyed like his part of it all. And also allowing Moana to call the shots.
Yep.
Like, he's like, all right, you said to go do this. I got you. I'm gonna do it. And it's like
She lost herself a little bit, right? And he was like, no, let me remember who you are, what you've done. Like all the time he was saying, I don't need her to do this, or I was the one doing it. But when he needed her to be the leader, he gave her all that stuff, and that was really cool of him too.
Yeah. And that was super cool. There's a whole song about it with that one. And then obviously it's Disney animation, so it looks gorgeous. It looked amazing, especially like it had a lot of like bioluminescence kind of stuff, with the water glowing at times, and it played into different creatures and monsters and stuff. All of it looked gorgeous, and that's what you expect from a Disney movie, is like it needs to look amazing, and it obviously does. And then one last thing, the singing was amazing. I can't remember
quality
her
of
name.
The voices.
I don't know how to pronounce her name, but the woman who does Moana, I will just murder her first name. She is freaking amazing. Holy crap. Like, there's a few songs where you're like, damn, she can sing. That's about it for my likes. I'm sure there's other stuff, but we'll move on to our dislikes. What didn't you like about this one, Brandon?
I didn't really have any glaring dislikes. I think the worst I can say about the movie is that I just thought it was fine. It was, it didn't really have anything that stood out for me. As far as the music goes, it didn't really have anything that was terribly as memorable for me as the first movie. I think that, as far as unnecessary sequels go this year, just because this seems to be the year of unnecessary sequels, it was probably one of the more least offensive. It was a movie that was just very. It's a movie.
Okay.
I think that's the worst I can say about it.
Yeah. All right. All right. What about you, Brian? What didn't you like about it?
The music wasn't as good. The singing was just as much of a quality, but the music itself, doesn't like, it's not ringing in my mind. So there are times where I was listening to things and listening to Moana, on blast. Girls singing at the top of their lungs. They remember it, but it's kind of only vaguely remember. They know what it's about. They remember the story more than they know that. And I think that's probably the biggest problem with it, because of a Disney movies mostly have connect with you through music, and so not having the same amazing level of music, no matter what, if it drops, it's a problem. So I think that's probably the most negative thing I could say about the movie.
And that's one or two, but that's my biggest issue was the music. The music just seemed. I was trying to like put a thing to it. It was like, because it was they were good, they were fine, but also you had Lin-Manuel Miranda do the first one, and he's probably a person who is most sought after when it comes to music right now. In the past 10 years ish. Like the dude can write amazing lyrics and music. So it's hard to compare to that. But it was okay. It just felt like it was just missing something. Like all the music was good. It just was missing that thing to make it. Yeah, that's that sparkle. The other songs, and then the only other thing that really kind of like I found annoying was the side characters, the crew. The crew just didn't do enough for me. Like they had potential, but everyone just got there because like, oh, we need this to happen in the third act, so therefore we need to have this character be there somehow. Oh, how? I don't know. She just has to be there, And I felt like some of that was kind of like lacking, like, oh, well, we need a dude who's going to tell the story. Okay, but like, why? I don't know, because there needs to be a dude, So it's just like
you remember him from the first one though, because he was the one supposed to be getting a tattoo, and he got the 2 lines, and he was like, "How good is it?"
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
So he was always there.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying like it. Yeah, it's
no,
just,
but I would say like the one who's the fix it one, she just came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. The farmer. I don't even know what the farmer did. Like the farmer went from like being scared to not being scared. I'm like, what did you do? Like, why do you need a farmer on the boat?
Because they thought they might be in the island. He might have to make farm the food if it can't be back there right away. Because they thought they may never come back, even though she was gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. So the side characters were interesting because I did like the dude. I did like him. I thought he was interesting. I wish they would have fleshed it out a little bit more. Same thing with the girl. I don't even know their names. She was cool. I liked her little like oh, she always wants to make things better. But you didn't do any setup for it. It was just like you put them there because they need to be there because later on in the story you need somebody to do this thing. And it can't be Moana and it can't be Maui. So that was my, again, it didn't really bother me too much. I was just like, whatever, but it did kind of like you kind of skipping over steps. That down, we are going to talk about or give our ratings. Now, later, never. Now means you got to watch it right now. Later means wait till it's at home streaming, and never means just skip it altogether. Brandman, what you giving Moana to?
Later.
Okay.
It was fine. I didn't mind it. It didn't leave as much of an impression as the first one did. It was another sequel that I don't necessarily think we needed, but it wasn't like Gladiator 2 levels of unnecessary. It was fine. I can rewatch it, and like it's fine. You can watch it later.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this probably be streaming because it's got to make money for a while. So I wouldn't expect it until like I wouldn't expect it
February,
until probably even later. I was thinking like April, March, maybe March, April, somewhere around there.
I think it hits its peak of everything right before Mufasa comes out. That's probably where it's going to stop. And it probably gets 3 weeks after Mufasa's gone. And then we're talking about January. So pre-orders, I'm thinking like going to be March. So
yeah, I can see that. What you give Moana, Brian?
Oh, I think it's a now for me. I mean, that's one of the better movies I've seen in the last 3 months. I enjoy it, but especially because it's a family movie. It's not a kid movie. I mean, not a adult movie. It's a kid movie. It's more of a family. It's aimed towards them and their development, not necessarily our adult development. So that's fine, and it is what it is. It stays true to what it is, and it came out the right time during Thanksgiving. So it's a now. I'm going to enjoy it. And I said, I think the story was even better than the first one. I just don't think it's a better movie. So,
I was ready to give this like a later just because from all the early reviews. And then I wind up watching it. I'm like, oh, this is definitely a now. This one really got me, like especially at the end. Because I'm like, I don't want to spoil it, but I was like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. And they keep dragging it out. I was like, they better fucking not. And they obviously didn't. But geez, man. Like it had me going for a while. And I'm like, wow, they really did this. I thought the story, like Brian said, was better here. Like they had a better idea of what to do with the adventure. I enjoyed that. Kind of cool. So the songs aren't as good, but they're still okay. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a nod. That's our review and our thoughts for Moana 2. But we want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought about Moana 2. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are there things we missed out on or we skipped over that you want to let us know? Leave a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out with us on the replay. And if you are watching live, stick around because we're going to get into your comments right now.